Hey folks, Joshua here. Welcome back to Timberborn. When we left off last time, we had reached a pretty good equilibrium point in terms of building what we wanted to build, having food, water, and materials kind of in progress. We're kind of in a holding pattern right now while we build up some science and pick up our next purchase, which is going to be our medium water pump. So right now, we're just kind of chilling like villains, like beaver villains, I guess. Not a lot to build. I am considering, actually, I've been thinking about this, I'm considering even getting a third lumber mill just because planks seem like such a huge inflection point for us, or maybe inflection point's not the right word. It's such a huge resource bottleneck for us that I'm considering whether or not we want a third one. It seems like we're starting to build up like a stockpile of it now. We've got 12 planks, but like we need them for everything. They're used to make these gears as well. We might want one more. I do think we probably want one builder, and I probably do need to have like something being built from time to time. Possibly the next thing I want to build here is going to be, yeah, see, this is right off the bat. This is another 18 planks that we need, so it's a lot. We might need one more lumber mill, but at this point, we're sort of waiting for adults. We're waiting for more adults to be born so that we can have a larger workforce to be able to do more things. For now, I'm just going to let the game run for a little bit. And we'll see who goes where and does what. In order to get this to happen, I think we're going to need one person to become a builder. So who do I want to do that? Probably this forester, I think. We need our water pumper to keep pumping water. We need our farmer to keep farming. We want all three of our scientists running, because science is another one of those bottlenecks. We obviously want all of these guys working. We might wait until we build up this stockpile of gears. I think we have 60 storage. So we might wait for 60 gears to be built and then disable that. Gears are a more advanced thing that we don't need. Our need for them isn't quite as high as our need for planks. So if we can build up a storage or a stockpile of that, it'd be good. Look at these carrots being built, being filled up in our warehouse. That's good. That's good news, right? Here's an interesting question. Okay, our foresters here have completely filled all of these pines and all the oaks. So one of them can probably stop working now. Like if we look over here, yeah, you don't have anything to do you? So as these pines start getting cut down, this forester can handle all of these and all of the oaks as well. So yeah, let's pause this forester for now. He can go be our builder. That seems fine. Okay. Stockpile of logs is doing well. It's hanging. Hey, it's been hanging around 120, 125. Our hauler should be bringing things over. Oh, look at this. Rajara grew up. Excellent. So we now have 16 adults. That's good news. Our platforms here are being built. That's good as well. And cycle 2, day 7 comes to a close. I think having a couple more adults is fantastic. Recognizing that we didn't really need this forester in operation right now was probably a good thing. I might open up one more lumberjack flag here. Well, no, that doesn't make sense because there's nothing for him to cut. Yeah, there's nothing to cut until some of these pines start maturing, which a couple more days it looks like. So we don't need you available for that. We are, yeah, if we're not careful, we are going to run out of logs soon. We don't have any mature trees to cut at the moment. We are, yeah, we're planting these birches for a little bit of quick wood. There's a little bit of dead wood there. Like, where would be the next place we could chop? Like, obviously, this is a possibility. There's some wood available there. But we might need... That's a long path to get there. There's some pines there. We do have this little grove. It's not really worth going after those. Yeah, wood is our next big problem, right? We're hoping that this situation over here kind of gets us into an equilibrium, but we gotta wait for these pines to grow. Once these pines grow, we should enter a cycle where replanting and cutting keep, like, hopefully we don't cut, we cut at a speed and keep our logs coming in at a speed that is renewable, restorable. There we go. Looks like we got a couple pines maturing here. Yeah, we got some 95s over here. All right. That's looking good. Okay. So in point of fact, maybe it does make sense to open one of these up. But let's get through the night first. All right, day 8 of cycle 2 begins. Yeah, wood is going to be a problem unless these pines start maturing a little bit more quickly. We're almost out of all our initial logs within the local map area. This, I guess, is going to have to be our next play, is to cut down some of this stuff. I wonder if there's a better way to get there, or maybe I could build a better, like, more storage over here, so that if I do open up one or two of these lumberjacks, there's a local place to store them. Somewhere sort of halfway back, maybe. A lot of green area here that we might want to use for other things. But I could throw a log storage over here. Maybe I'll get that started. Get a large pile going. Something like... something like this, maybe. We'll get a path going there. It is sort of a long trek for these guys. But, you know, they're starting from over here. At least it's basically a straight shot. I think, given that, we are going to maybe run into some problems with wood if I don't start working on this. Let's crack open this lumberjack flag. Let somebody work that. No one unemployed. 16 adults now. 7 kids growing up. Good news. Looks like we do have access to another lodge here, so let's get that building. That'll be good. Now, if we could get some more housing on top of there, that'd be good. But in order to do that, I would have to have, I think, the double platform and replace all of these. The other option is to have smaller buildings up here that do something that aren't lodging. Or what would these little mini lodges look like? Yeah, they're 2x2s, so that doesn't work either. I would need to spend science on it. 234. Still waiting on that 400. That's okay. Water wheel's running strong. I suppose the next thing we could work on... No, I need to unlock a different type of structure here for that dam, I think. So, yeah, we'll just let this play out for a bit. Looks like Alzim was born yesterday. Yeah, we're getting a nice population boost from all the housing. So... what are we looking at? Our water's going up. That's fine. This is starting to contain some water. Okay. Like, these pumps are inefficient, but it seems like it's enough to keep up with demand for now. Same with food. Wood, holding steady, right? Starting to rebuild that stockpile of planks, getting a few gears up and running. Once we've got 60 gears stored, we can switch that building off and let that worker do something else. This farm seems like it's more than sufficient for now. You guys are chopping down wood, planting birches. We are getting a few more trees growing over here. Okay, things are looking good. Yeah, you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's fine. Yeah, everything's looking solid. So what are my concerns, right? My concerns are dealing with droughts and bad tides, progressing through science, and unlocking new stuff, growing my population. Oh, you need to be set to accept logs. There we go. Obtain, supply, empty. I think just accept, right? Okay. So yeah, the next big project is really just waiting for 400 sites. So I might speed through a couple days here. We've reached a point where we're kind of at what I would call equilibrium, where there's not a lot of interesting decisions to make until we get more science. Hold on, one beaver unemployed. Oh, Cosco grew up. One beaver unemployed. Where do I want him to work? We don't really need another builder. It doesn't seem like we need another... We don't need the second forester over here right now. I think we can keep up with one now, unless I spam out more lumberjacks. I guess we'll just go through the night while I think here a little bit. 3 scientists working full-time. That's about as many as I'm willing to contribute at the moment. We're running out of wood over here for a bit. Not sure if having this lumberjack continue to work makes sense. Where do I want to put that guy? There's now 2 beavers unemployed. All right, so we can... I don't really need more workers right now. Maybe haulers or... We could build up our water supply with another pumper for a bit. Or I guess I could... Yeah, we're okay on logs. This went up from 120 to 167 today. Food's hanging tight around 300. Water's going up. So yeah, I guess we do have some extra... if we have some extra capacity, more scientists isn't necessarily the worst idea. It would make sense to put them on top of things. If I had a way to get them paths, this would be an efficient use of space, have their workplace here, but I don't have a way to path them in. I guess, can I go from the other direction? No, they wouldn't be able to do anything there. So, what can I build that I can put these buildings on top of? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 5? No, it's 4. We could put some 2x2 buildings over here. I could put some put some lodging here, and then put these on top of them. In fact, with that path, I could actually face them the other way. That's not terrible. All right, let's do that. Let's future-proof here a little bit. Let's get 2 lodges going, like this. And then once they're built, I mean, I guess that means, yeah, we need paths here. So I will up the amount of allowed workers here by 2 for now, just to let these get built. And then we'll put 2 more science buildings on top of them facing this path. So then we can have some more scientists working, building up our science a little bit faster. We did make a decent amount there. 261. I think we made like 50 today with 3 full-time workers. Okay. We'll take a minute for these to get built, and then we can place the science buildings. Let me actually plan those out before I forget. like that. I presume they can't actually build those until the lodgings are available. We've got a weird little space here. I guess there's nothing to do about that. There's space for another building here. Another 2x2 of some sort. All right. Up to 18 working adults now. That's great. Some of this, so we're going to have 5 full-time science buildings. That's going to absorb a lot of that adult population. That's good. 158 logs. Like, we could enable another forester over here now that some of these pines are growing. This guy's working them instead of this chunk over here. I guess it makes sense. They're closer. He has less to do, less to go. For you, it might make more sense to have you move over here and help out over here just because... Let's see. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's unpause that. And let's pause you. Because we don't want you doing this huge commute, really, if we can avoid it. Yeah, you go home. That works. Okay. You're working on planting birches. That's fine. Everything here seems good. Do we want another hauler? Is that valuable? We already have 2. I don't think we need another hauler right now. I don't think there's enough to move around. Like, the main demand that we have are for the lumber mill to get logs. Good news is their productivity is high, but even with two haulers, in like several days, we haven't filled this up. So 2 haulers is probably fine. We'll leave those boxes checked for now. We want to build up our stockpile of planks. This can hold 180, yeah. Okay, and then we know we've got 60 storage. I could get another industrial building. In fact, you know what? We have a lot of storage. Planks are in huge demand. I think even maybe getting a 3rd lumber mill might make sense. Possibly. As these 5 children grow up and we have more housing, more kids are born, we're going to need more jobs for people. So maybe a 3rd lumber mill makes sense. Like, being able to stockpile all those planks would be good. The problem is wood. Our wood income is a little low. But it looks like maybe this is going to start to pick up over here. So maybe we're okay on that front. Like, we've got, I think, 3 full-time lumberjacks. This guy's going to run out of wood in a minute. So he's going to have to move somewhere else. Like, all this dead wood is not going to regrow. Okay. 13 free beds, so hopefully we see a little bit more population coming in the next couple of days. And get more adults, that'd be great. Yeah, it does seem like we're okay. Like, food and water are holding steady, although as we get more population, this is going to start to go down. It does seem like logging is our biggest problem right now, logging in science. 296, well on our way to that 400 we need, especially as we put in more and more of these science huts. I wonder if there's not a better way. Is there some faster way to get people over here? Like, another path doesn't really help because there's no such thing as a diagonal path. I might need to just live with the long commute for somebody to get over there. I guess we could plant more trees closer. I guess this birch is we're working on that to some degree. We've got space here for potatoes that we don't need yet, I don't think. By the way, does this, yeah, that would cover this. So if we turn this into a potato field, you know what? Do I want to do that right now? Got space for a 2nd farmhouse here. I don't think we want them spending time on potatoes right now, although it would be good for our well-being. But it seems like we're not able to harvest this fast enough and harvest and replant. Like, these are all at 100%, but yeah, we don't even have storage for more carrots. Or no, we do have storage for more carrots. Maybe it's time to pop this up to 2, but it's not like I need the food. So even though it's it's a somewhat inefficient use of the space to leave these carrots in the ground all that time, maybe that's okay because we're not hurting for food. Our food reserves are growing now, so we can support a larger population. Oh, look at this, we got 20 adults. Okay, I think since wood is a problem for us, since raw logs are a problem for us, it might make more sense to open up these lumberjacks and just let them burn through this wood, let the forester keep up with them, rather than coming over here and turning this on. There's nobody's going to regrow this anyway. This could be like an emergency wood supply for if some catastrophe happens and we have no logs available. Yeah, I think okay. This is starting to grow fast enough that maybe it can support all 3 of these lumberjacks. We'll have to see. Also, this guy's just about done here. What's he got? 1, 2 birches, 3 birches, 2 pieces of deadwood. Like, he's almost done. Ronemp grew up. 20 adults. Very nice. 20 adults, 3 children. Food and water holding steady. Logs holding steady. I'm not super happy. Wardwog was born. Not super happy that this number of logs isn't going up, but hey, we are building up a stockpile of planks and gears, so that's something. That's pretty good. I can live with that. Nobody's unemployed. Love to see that. All right, let's get through the night. Cycle 2, day 10 begins. Yeah, science is a real limiter here. We need the 400 for the water pump, and then we need more for whatever this dam is going to look like. I think this is just going to be the floodgate. Blocks water up to an adjustable height. I think floodgates at 150 has to be our next play after we get that medium water pump. Oh, Zolraj has died of old age. Well, thank you for your service, buddy. That takes us down to 19 adults, but that's all right. It's all right. 2 vacancies, no unemployment. That's great. But with nothing to build, let's lower our builder count to 1 again. Yeah, we needed this second. I think we did need this second forester to get everything seeded, but it seems like maybe 1 guy can keep up with the cutting here as these pines come online. All right, maybe this is going to resolve my issues. I don't know how many lumberjacks we can support, but right now we've got 3 active here, so that's good. Well-being is at 8. Love to see that. We do have all 5 scientists working together. I will say I don't like how crummy the science stuff is. I would love to be able to get an observatory going. It's so much more effective. So 1 hour for 1 science or 1 hour for like 13.3 science. Now this does cost 400 HP, but it also costs 1,000 science to unlock. And we need 80 planks, 30 gears, and 10, what is that, sap? Oh, you provide pine resin. That's something else we could be gathering, I guess. I could get 1 pine resin gathering guy. We need the tapper shack for that. We could build a little stockpile of that if it's unlocked. It might not be unlocked. Paper mill, printing press, tapper shack. 500 science to unlock the tapper shack. So not anytime soon, unfortunately. Okay, something to keep in mind. Monuments. Farmer monument. Brazier of Bonding, Fountain of Joy, Earth Recultivator. That's some endgame stuff right there. Our goal probably for the playthrough should be to build 1 of those, maybe all 4. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. What are we looking at? 1 vacancy. Yeah, food and water holding steady. We're even seeing our logs grow up. Our log amounts go higher now that these pines have started to come online. That's good news. Forester's doing work. Like, these stumps are things he needs to do replanting on. Obviously, the cutters are going to cut faster than he can replant. But how fast? Like how long? How quickly does the amount of stumps grow? Like versus how quickly he overwhelms them. We might need to turn this forester back on. Oh, hold on. Beaver is injured. What happened, Wanjin? What was your injury here? It just says injured. It doesn't say how he's injured. Well, fortunately, we had already built this emergency healing bed, so he's got a place to go to deal with that. I guess that's good. Which building is lacking workers here? There's no builders? Okay, that's fine. I don't think we have anything scheduled to be built right now, so that's okay. Yeah. I think we just, we're almost to this 400 that we need. This is good. So having 5 scientists speed things up, it's a lot of our workforce soaked up by that obligation, that responsibility. Where are we? Almost at the end of cycle day 10. I think we just fast forward. Watch this number try to get to 400 here and get our big pump. 2 more beavers grew up. Good to know. 20 workers. Love to see that. Two more births. 3 more births. Wow. Very nice. We do have 1 unemployed beaver, so let's take a look over here. It does seem like our single forester is keeping up pretty well. This number of stumps is starting to grow a little bit. Where do we want that worker? We've almost got the science we need. I will say... Let's turn you off. So, and just to get a little bit of efficiency, we'll give somebody, because all this is done, let's turn this lumberjack flag off. Or possibly let's even destroy it. Yeah, and we'll turn you on to start chopping down birch trees. What else do we have paused? It's mostly lumberjacks. I guess the forester we could turn on technically. We've got our 2 builders that we don't super need because we're not building anything right now. Got 2 haulers, 2 builders. I don't need berry gathering. I could turn this, I could add 1 more lumberjack here to work through the pines a little bit more and turn the forester back on to help. I think that makes sense. Let's get more lumberjacks and more reforestation going here. A couple of these oaks are getting born as well. Let's hit 400 science, and then we'll plot out our big pump. Yeah, watching the numbers, it seems like we're in a good spot. Okay, there we go. There's the 400 science. So let's go ahead and unlock the large water pump. Yep. Oh, interestingly, this... Oh, I didn't see this. It's going to require these treated planks, which requires that resin. Damn. This is a learning opportunity for me. I always have to look at what's required to build these things, not just the science. Yikes. So do we want to get into, like, how do you make treated planks? Let's see. Paper mill, printing press, tapper shack, and wood workshop. Okay, this is a little upsetting to know that this is like an end game item or a late game item, or at least a mid game item. Bad water pump's going to take metal. Yeah, all of these things are going to take more advanced resources. All right, so I'm stuck with these cheap, crappy water pumps for a while, it looks like. Okay. Well, I mean, we have all this pine. Is that what I want to do next? Like, do I want to get into the tapper shack here? Yeah, there's pine resin and maple syrup. Presumably, maple syrup will be good for their well-being, like being able to make sweets and stuff. Is this what I want to do right now? I don't think so. I think I, like... We do have all those pines as a resource. Maybe I do want this. It feels like maybe it's a little early, but we do have the gears to build it. We have the logs, planks, and gears to build it. This will unlock a whole new chain of stuff for us to build and work on. All right, maybe we'll... All right. I didn't see that we needed treated planks to build the big pump. So if we want to do that, we need to get started on this tapper shack. Is this the right play? We have other infrastructure projects we want to do. I want to do another dam. Like, this lets us start stockpiling pine resin. But then we need another 800 science just to get the wood workshop, and then another 400 science once we have the treated planks to get to the big pump. So, I don't know. Is that the right buy right now? What do we want to do? We want to grow our population, right? I think the better play here is not to get into that just yet. I think we'd be better off either getting something like double platform so we can grow vertically. Or wait a minute. Here's an interesting question. Can I put a platform on top of another platform? Oh, I can. Oh, okay. Okay. But in order to path onto this, I need I need an overhang. I need an overhang here. Would that be like this one? What does this do? No, to make that work, I need the 3 length. That's 550. But that one would let me get onto a 3rd floor here. And up to here at some point. Is there... Maybe I can get a suspension bridge. Yeah, suspension bridge might be what I need here. Like, if I built this, then I need 1, 2... I need a suspension bridge of 2. So let me see. If I did this. Yeah, that would let me get over there once I had a way to get up here in the first place. And we have like we had like spiral stairs, right? How do these work? Can these be built on top of each other? This is kind of interesting, actually. You know what? I might have to experiment with those. All right, let's get rid of this for now. I want to get like the suspension bridge and some I could try to build like a spiral staircase here to get up onto this ledge. Mainly as or I might be better off doing it here. Build some spiral stairs to get up here, and then we have more space to build in. We can, I guess, chop down these trees. That's interesting. But I think we had talked about building this dam as well. Maybe that's the play. Floodgate is only 150. There's no point, I don't think, getting a double floodgate because we don't want it to rise above... Well, hold on. So a single floodgate here. Yeah, this is one tile, right? That's one tile of height. So we don't want to flood our lands. So we don't want anything going higher than that level. So a double floodgate doesn't make sense unless we build levees all around the edge. Like chop down these trees and build levees all around the edge in order to we'd have to build the entire... Yeah, that would be a very big project with I don't see the value in it. So I think regular floodgate makes sense here. Yeah. We're going to need a path over here to make this work. Is that the way to do it? I want like a V? 1, 2, 3. Like that? Probably not. Probably just go across. Do it the easy way, right? Okay, so let's see. What does this look like? Which way do I want this facing? I think I want it like this. Right? I think that's what I want. And then I'm going to need a way to get over there. Or will I? Doesn't seem like it's complaining about... This one's too far. The first two can be built? By the way, what are these requiring? Yeah, just logs and planks. That's fine. Okay. So to build this, I'm going to need a path. I'm going to need a stair. I'm going to need a stair down. Let me go ahead and unlock this spiral staircase. I'm curious to see how the... Well, do I want to? 350? I can't anyway. I'm not sure this is worth unlocking, but it is interesting to me. Like, how do you... So, like, you have that, and then I guess you have a platform here, and then the next thing on top of the platform. You can't build a... Yeah. You can't build them on top of each other, but with a platform, you can make some more interesting stair choices. I don't think I need that right now. What I am going to need is something like this. Well, they can get there, but I don't have a path through for them. So they have to go up here and get through like that. Like, is that what I want to do? Do I want to chop some of this down? Have the path here? I might want these stairs regardless, even if I bust a path through here, which I might end up doing. How's that going to work? I'd have to destroy this. Okay, let's set up a couple pathways, 2 ways for them to get around here. I think it is worth doing. Let's get rid of you and all of you guys and you two. That works. Okay. With that in place, we want to up our number of builders maybe by 1 or 2. So let these guys do their jobs. Let's potentially set a path like this. Okay. Which building lacks workers here? This lumberjack? I'm fine with that. We're growing our population rather quickly now. So what is my next purchase going to be in terms of science? I don't need anything there. I'm glad I unlocked that, but I wish we had the pump. One of these suspension bridges might make sense, or maybe these... Well, maybe spiral stairs aren't necessary. Not as valuable as some of this other stuff, maybe. Sluice gates. I don't think we need a builder's hut right now. Until I have treated planks, it doesn't make sense to unlock that. At some point we'll need a grill, but we're not into any of that yet. Paper mill. I guess maybe the tapper shack to start collecting pine resin for the future. Like if I get 500 built up, maybe getting this tapper shack makes sense. We do have all these pine trees. And then where would the resin go? Hold on. If I click on a storage, your gears right now, but we have berries. That's food. Is this ingredients? Pine resin. Okay, so it doesn't go... Yeah, it doesn't go in the piles. It goes in the storage. Okay. And it seems like the kind of thing you need a lot of, and we're going to have access to a lot of once we get that built, so I probably need a medium storage for pine resin, right? I might want to build access up here somehow to... Oh, I didn't even realize. I can't... How would I get the stairs to get somebody onto a path to a third floor here? Well, wherever it would start, wherever the ability to get there would start, it would be something like this, right? Do I have a single suspension bridge is 1 by 1? That could be handy. So I could build platform here and here. I could build the 1 by 1 suspension. I think that's worth an unlock. 150 seems like a good play here. Unlock that. So that would go like this. And then I can have stairs like that. And one little bit of path going like this. Over here. That will unlock a third floor for us. It's a little bit of a complicated construction. A bridge and a suspension bridge just to get access there, but that lets us put more housing in, which is good. How's our welfare doing? What are people getting? Shelter? Why are 25 to 27? We have beds for everybody. We had 1 injury. Carrots are good. Everybody's got campfire and rooftop terrace, so we've got enough of that. Everybody's getting shrub. Out of curiosity here, what are our next limits? Or is there just the one? Next tier, well-being 10, well-being 12, and well-being 17. So getting to well-being 10 does get us another 20% production bonus. That might be worth thinking about. Like, are these decorations relatively cheap? Rooftop tiles are fairly cheap. If we get a third set of lodges here, then putting roofs on them does make sense at that point. Although we might need temporary scaffolding to actually get up on top and be able to build them. What else do we have? A scarecrow, a wind gauge, a beaver statue. These are getting expensive in terms of materials and science. Like, I could unlock a lantern here. That's another point of well-being for people who see it. Maybe we could go after some roof tiles. But it's going to be a minute before we get that tapper shack at 500. Still. Let's check in with our employment situation. 20 adults employed, 3 vacancies, 1 incapacitated, but we do have that bed that he's healing in. I don't know how long it takes him. He's at -2? I think this is at -3, so maybe he's slowly healing. Materials is looking good, yeah. Now that the pine came online, now we're starting to produce some logs and some planks and gears here. I'm liking that. I am liking that. We have storage for more gears. We got 25 out of 60. I might just, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to. I think it makes sense to throw 2 more of these down and just earmark them for more gear storage. Yeah, that makes sense. That puts our gear storage total at, I think 120 instead of 60. That lets us stock some up. And then once that hits 120, we can take the gear worker off and have him do something else, right? Makes sense. Yeah, you're injured. You lack workers. That's fine. Okay, all right. How many builders do we have active? Just the 1? Okay. With this, do I want to keep them cutting these pines? I guess I do. Like, stockpiling this stuff for later seems great. Okay on food, okay on water. I guess 1 pump is enough. 1 water pump, even though it's super inefficient. It's enough for this population for now. We do have 5 scientists. So that's going to slow our building a bit. As a couple people grow up. Yeah, you know what? I'm not too rushed on building this. That's kind of okay. Well, we've got 6 kids. A couple of them are going to grow up. They'll become builders. They'll work on this as time permits. They're also building this. Like, none of this is super rush stuff. Oh, and we did build our first floodgate. So how does this work? Blocks water up to an adjustable height. No one thought you could improve on a dam until old Casco created the first floodgate. Okay. I guess technically I didn't need this here. There's no actual water flowing through it since it's in a corner. Whatever. Would it have been more efficient to not build this and instead build... Floodgate is 10 logs, 5 planks. Levee's just 12 logs. Yeah, I guess... a levee with 2 floodgates in the middle would have been a better play. Maybe that does make sense. All right, let's... Yeah, all right. Let's unlock this. And let's cancel... This one's already a sunk cost. I'm just going to leave that as it is. Let's cancel... What do we want? We probably want 3 of these to let water through, or maybe just 2? No, probably 3. Feel like... I do want to cancel this and get the planks back, maybe. But I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Feels like it's not a huge amount of the width of what's coming in here. Like I guess it'll all be pushed through. So this is at 0.65. The water level's actually below that. I feel like I want these 2 or maybe these 3 to be levees or to be floodgates. You know what? Okay, let's undo this. We'll reconsider what this looks like. Let's go ahead and prioritize these for gathering. Let's just get this out of the way. And then I think we'll redesign this. So we have 3 floodgates in the middle here. And then we can throw the... What are they called? The levee that we just unlocked on the other side. Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, we're waiting on builders to demolish this stuff. Get these ladders going, and then we can path our way over here, go down into the water to be able to build more. That's fine. Right now, we've only got the 1 injury, so we only need the 1 bed. Do I want to build another emergency bed, or just wait until we need it, where somebody gets injured? I'm sure. I could cut down on my scientists, but I don't want to, if you know what I mean. Okay, we're good on food and water and all of our general sustainability, so I'm going to speed through a couple days here. We might have another drought show up, but let's get through some of this building, build up some science, figure out what we want to do next. Keeping an eye on the food and water. Water's going down a little bit. Food's going up a little bit. Materials are obviously going up, so that's good. I do like when they all sprint out of their lodges in the morning and get to work. Yarrow was born. Okay. 3 vacancies still. Water goes back up during the day, so I guess they drink more when night falls. Like when they work all day, then they're thirsty. They go get something to drink. That kind of makes sense. This seems good. It seems like we're building up quite a lot of resources, and things are slowly getting built. Let me check in on my haulers. Where are they? You're carrying nothing. I guess you're on your way to pick something up. About Ken A. Ken A, you became a hauler, buddy. And yeah, you're toting around logs, so good for you. Look at this stockpile growing up. Okay. Did we build anything interesting? I guess this suspension bridge is kind of interesting, like the sluice gate or the whatever it was called was sort of interesting. Where is this path going to be to get me down into the water there? I am going to need to demolish this resource as well, it looks like. And then we're going to need stairs down into the water here. I think I need more builders. I've only got 2. I mean, the haulers seem important. What else can I do? You know, we can slow down a little bit on log cutting here. Let me... Nobody's working you anyway, so let's make you paused. We don't need... I don't think we need 4 loggers over here right now. Let's pause that. See if that helps out a little bit. Seems like our foresters are keeping up too. I can maybe now take Juan Jin off of foresting duty, let him go be a builder. I don't want to turn off any of my science. And water and food seems like it's in a good place, so I don't want to mess with that either. Let's see if we get a few more builders here. There we go. 3 builders. That's better. Right? Oh, hold on. Now, why are you thirsty? Why are you dehydrated? Why aren't you drinking, buddy? Movement speed minus 25%. Beaver will die soon. What? Why are... We've got 295 water. Hold on. What's going on here? Let me follow this guy. Beaver will die soon. What? Is it just because he had to come over here and get a drink? Oh, okay. Thirst +1. All right. That was very concerning to me. Yeah, they all have to make their way over here to get a drink because there's no water left in the district center. But that's fine, right? That's okay. They can come get drinks. That made me uncomfortable. Okay. Alzim grew up. Now we have 2 unemployed workers. Let's go ahead and increase our builders population and our hauler population. And that makes sure everybody's got jobs. Feels good. Feels like I can use those 2 buildings to kind of manage the unemployment situation. Having 5 scientists is also very nice. The next thing we want to work on is probably the resin or probably resin could be our next play. That workshop probably takes up some of this power once it gets built, if it gets built. But we'll need storage as well. I did want this built in order to learn about building 3rd stories. There is room here for some storage, I think, within a path behind it. It will uglify everything to have giant warehouses in front of their living space. But this is like this is like the starter set for housing, right? This is like our colony needs just beds on beds on beds in boxes. So if it becomes a cramped, narrow, like slum, I guess I'm okay with that. I was thinking about like, so if we look at storage here, go medium warehouse, we build it like that, it's connected. We can fit 2 in there, and then 2 more on top, right? I could leave maybe 1 space in between. Yeah. If I leave space in between, there's another path out. Like this. We do something like this. And then I could build 2 more on top of there if I needed it. But like one of these can be dedicated for resin for the future. Pine resin, yep. And then what are we stocked full of? I mean, I don't really need to be gathering more berries. So we got paper, books, pine resin, dandelions, explosives, bots. We're way off on bots. Potatoes? Is it time to get the potato farm in place? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Sunflower seeds, grilled potatoes, grilled chestnuts. Maybe we just lower the priority on this second medium warehouse and just leave it until we know what we need for it, or know what we need it for. Okay, I think we're getting more births, more adults. To 22 working adults, that's good. I think our planning is done. We just need to wait for them to kind of do some of the stuff we asked them to do. And then we do need to get this dam in place. I think we're due a drought soon. We'll probably see this dry out again. There's not a lot I feel like I can do about it. Okay. Oh, are you going to let water pass through? You are. All right. So that's... We're going to have to cross it here like this. Okay, so I think we build the levees first and the gates last. Let's go look at levee. Levee. And then levee. Levee. Is 2 enough? If I have those sluice gates fully lowered? I feel like it should be. Let's build that and see what that does. Like, I think there should be enough to drain everything without, like, causing all this to flood. It might raise the level a little bit. It's, like, pretty much exactly halfway here. But let's get these built first and see how they respond, and then we can put the 2 sluice gates in after if that seems like it's going to work. Oh, hey, our first suspension bridge. There we go. There's a nice... screenshot for the thumbnail here. Can I get in and get a big sexy view of it? Can't from that direction. Let's see here. Like, I want this to be the masterpiece, the centerpiece of what I did here. Suspension bridge. There we go. With one little beaver walking by. Something like that, maybe. That's really my only accomplishment for this entire episode in terms of new tech, right? Most of this episode was management and planning. But that's okay, right? Like, it's all going well. We're surviving, we're thriving, we're prospering. Yeah, we got plenty of food and water, plenty of materials. Science is going up. Okay, no crisis, no disasters. That's always a good thing. I would like to see this path finished here. A lot more to do here. But with the completion of the suspension bridge, now theoretically we can get another lodge here, right? Yeah, and they'll have access to it. We can get our 3rd story going. Eventually we can put roofs on there. We can get up maybe onto this plateau up here. Though why we need that, I don't know. I mean, I guess for things like gravity batteries at some point, it's nice to have a tall starting point to build up on and then a trench to dig down into for those, but that's a much later game concern. We might, you know what might be good up here if we unlock it is the windmills. Although how we transfer all that power, I don't know. Definitely need the vertical power shaft if we do that. 120, this is only 120 science. Maybe that's something we look into. This, of course, we need paper, so that's a ways off, and 101.4 thousand. Yeah. Maybe if we get up here, we throw a windmill farm up here, and somehow we could do more. We do more industry up here, I guess. Like we can rely on the water wheel for this group of industry, and then maybe put some windmills up here and build some other things. Got to get a good pathway up for them, though. Getting some dynamite and taking out like 1 square on a corner here so we can go stair might not be bad. So maybe I should, yeah, we had talked about getting over to the Badwater Where's the closest bad water? I guess it is this stuff over here. Yeah, maybe a new priority. Because what was I talking about? Yeah, once we get this dam built, after that, maybe we make our way over to this bad water and start making dynamite. But that's going to have to wait. I think with the achievement of our suspension bridge, we're kind of done with this episode. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I am really loving this game. I know it's a bit of a slow burn, but some people like my long plays. They say they enjoy them. And I don't have the time or the patience to edit this down into a 20-minute video like someone like Real Civil Engineer would do. So if you're enjoying it, let me know in the comments. I'll name a beaver after you. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.